Hi everyone, so today I did a look using the new Stila palette. Well, it's not new at the store, but it's new to me. And I shared this in my Ulta haul that I posted. By the time this goes up, it's been several weeks. But this is the Stila Mine palette, and this is the one that is all matte. So I'm trying to not blind you. But these are all matte eyeshadows, and so far the consistency has been really creamy, really soft, and easy to blend from what I have tried. Now, I haven't used all of them. I think the only ones are like the darker grays and that black. But they're all really, really nice. And so I use those to create a sort of like warm look on the upper eyes, but then I wanted a pop of color on the lower lashes. And I wanted something that kind of stands out. And then I figured, why not pull a pop of color that matches my shirt? So I decided to incorporate the MakeupGeek foiled eyeshadow in Houdini, which is such a beautiful kind of turquoise, not turquoise, but teal green shade that's super, super metallic. And it gives it that sort of like wet look on the eye. I did layer that over a eyeliner that is close to that so that it just has that much more impact. It's not something that you have to do, but I just thought that it was gonna make it look better and more intense. This one is not as metallic as some of the other ones within the foiled collection, which if you want to know more about those eyeshadows, how much they are, if you want to see them up close, swatches and stuff, I will link below the video that I have reviewing them and talking all about them. And then I do have a video where I show you how to use them in an everyday wearable look, because some people may think that these are not wearable, and they totally are. You just have to know how to apply it, and so I will link that tutorial down below for you in the description box. And of course, as always, everything that I use will be listed for you below, so if I'm speeding through and I'm talking quite fast, you can kind of get the list of things if you're interested in them. So I hope you guys enjoy this look. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more tutorials, and if you enjoy the video, and please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Glamour by Lexi. Would love to connect with you there, and let's get started with the look. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is take this really pale cream color, and the color is called Reason. And I'm taking that with a Morphe MB23 Fluffy Crease Brush, and I'm just going to apply this as a base. Just throw it on there really messily. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just creating a base so that everything else kind of blends a little bit better and a lot more smoothly. Next, I'm taking the tan shade. This is called Wit, and I'm using a Zoeva 228 Luxe crease brush to apply this directly into the crease area. Just applying it windshield wiper motions back and forth. And this is just going to be sort of that transition shade, because we are going to go with deeper colors here in a little bit. So just throw this on. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure that there aren't any harsh lines and that it's even. So this brush that I'm using is so incredibly good for crease work, because it has a bit of a tapered point, and so I'm going to be doing a review on these brushes very soon, because these are amazing. I love them, and the brand is Zoeva. Next, I'm taking a sort of pale creamy color. This one is called Creativity. It's got a bit of a sort of peachy tinge to it, and I'm just going to use that to highlight the brow bone and also kind of blend a little bit of that transition shade that we used. Then I'm taking the MakeupGeek eyeshadow in, let's see, what is that called? Grandstand. And I'm applying that with a Red Sable Flat eyeshadow brush from Morphe Brushes. It will be listed below for you. And I'm just packing that color on the lid. And I'm making sure that I'm not going up too high. I'm going to say just below the crease, because as you can see, this is super metallic. I absolutely love these foiled shadows. They're incredibly beautiful and very, very pigmented, and that's without a base. So if you don't have these, you need to get them. And then I'm just taking a clean brush to smooth out the edges of that. Then I'm going to go in with the kind of orangey color here, and that's called Perception. And it's, again, these are all mattes. And I'm using that with a Morphe S12 blending brush. And I'm just going to be applying this to my crease. And I'm using this color because I want this to be a very warm look. Now, if you don't want that, you can definitely use a gray, browns, or you don't even have to put anything darker in the crease. Just stick with like light tans and you'll be fine. And as you can probably tell already, there's a lot of blending going on with this. That's the key to every look, is just really well blended. Then I'm going to go in with that same color called Creativity with the Morphe what brush is that? MB23, and I'm just going to kind of soften everything a bit. Then with the Sigma E25 blending brush, I'm going to take this brown shade, and this one is called Genius, and again, it's a matte sort of chocolate brown. Any brand will work. MakeupGeek has one called Mocha you can use in place of that. And I'm just going to kind of keep this on the outer part of the eye, mostly like the outer V, and then just slowly start kind of blending it and creeping towards like the middle of the eye, but not too heavily because I want the darkness to be right on the outer edge of the eye. And by the way, this is a totally optional step. You don't have to do this. It's basically preference, and I wasn't even going to do this, but then I was like, what the heck, why not? So just apply that, and then I'm going in with a clean E25 brush from Sigma just to soften that out because this is a super pigmented color, and you want to make sure it's really well blended before moving on to the next step. Then going back in with that sort of light tan called Wit, I'm going to take that on the same crease brush, the Morphe MB23, and just kind of soften out that brown a bit because I didn't want it so dark, and it did come out a bit darker than I was intending it to. And as you can see, I really love that brush because it is so soft and it blends out eyeshadows really good, and I highly recommend it. Alright, so then I'm going back in with the Grandstand Foiled Eyeshadow by MakeupGeek with the same brush that I used earlier because I feel like when you blend your crease work out, you can lose sort of the intensity of what's on the lid, so just retouch it if you need to. Then for the pop of color, I'm taking a eyeliner from MakeUpForever. I don't know what the color is called, but I'll put it below. And then I'm going to go over that with the foiled eyeshadow by MakeupGeek called Houdini. It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous green. And I'm using a Zoeva 317 wing liner brush. Absolutely amazing brush. Love it so much. But I'm just applying that over the liner, just to kind of create a bit of intensity. It's not really necessary to do the whole eyeliner thing, but I wanted to put the liner in the waterline, so that's why I chose that step. But if you don't want to, you can just take that Houdini, if you're following along, and just kind of smudge it. And then just blend it in with your favorite eyeliner brush, and you'll be set to go. You don't have to do the eyeliner step. Then I'm going to take this NARS Larger Than Life eyeliner pencil in the color Via Veneto, which is the black. And I'm going to be tight lining with this, and I found that this liner is actually very good for the waterline because it stays on all day. Then I'm going in with some liquid liner. This is the LORAC Front of the Line Pro, one of my absolute favorite liquid liners. And it is a little blurry. Sorry, I got a little too close to the mirror. My bad. I will make sure to pay attention to that next time. But I'm doing a super, super thin line because I don't want a thick liner to take away from that beautiful fold shadow that we have on the lid. So just super thin. You can use a pencil, or heck, you can even use the dark eyeshadow that's in that Stila palette if you're using that to do this look. Alright, so then we have to add some mascara. I'm going to be using the one from Gellar. It's called GlamLash. It's the first time using it. It's okay. It's not my favorite. I do like the style of the brush. So just apply your favorite mascara, and then I'm going to apply my face products. And oh my gosh, I'm not using my CC cream. Mark the calendar because I'm using the L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade Light Ivory W2 on top of my primer. And I was trying to point out how liquidy this foundation is. And I'm blending that in with the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki brush F80. It's a really good brush to apply it. There are some other dupes out there for this brush. It's quite pricey, but it works really well. You can use a beauty blender, or the Real Techniques sponge is really great. I need to go buy a new one, but I really like that sponge, and I think it would have been better with the liquid foundation. Alright, so time to conceal my super dark circles. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Concealer in the shade Light. I believe it's number 10 or 15. One of those, but it's light. And I'm blending that in with the Tapered Kabuki F86 brush from Sigma. Again, it's part of the set. You can get all these flat top Kabuki brushes in a set from them. I will link it down below, just in case you're interested. But that brush is one of my favorite brushes for concealer because it blends the concealer in really well. And lately I've actually been spraying like a spring water face mist onto the tip of it to blend my concealer, and oh my gosh, it's even better. So just to use whatever you've got. I can do a video on that if you guys are interested in knowing how to get a better blended under eye, because I've been trying some new little techniques here and there. Actually work and help make your under eye look a lot more smooth. But anyways, I'm going to be setting my entire face with the Dream powder. I don't even know what it's called. Dream Matte Powder, I think, from Maybelline in the shade Classic Ivory. And I'm using a multitask brush by Real Techniques just to kind of set my under eye and my whole face, just to get rid of that sort of wet look that you get from the liquid foundations. And this is actually a very, very good powder because it has a little bit of pigment, so it's not gonna, you know, take away from the color of your foundation, but it's so finely milled that it actually works and you can put quite a bit on without it looking cakey. Then I'm going in with my Chocolate Soleil bronzer and another Morphe brush, which I forget what it's called. I think it's the MB5, and I'm just kind of throwing that on. Not really doing any sort of like precise contouring, but somewhat. And then, of course, bronzing because I am really fair. Alright, so you didn't even get to see what I was using for my brows, but that's the Maybelline powder. I've shown this before in videos and also favorites, and I'm using a double-ended brush from Morphe brushes as well to apply that, and my brows take freaking forever to do. So just fill in your brows. I will link below my brow tutorial. It's using, I believe it's the one using the dip brow from Anastasia, which I absolutely love. So I will link it below if you are interested in knowing what my brow routine is. So it's blush time, my favorite time, and I'm using the MakeupGeek Infatuation blush with a Bare Minerals brush. What is this called? Precision Face. And I'm applying that, kind of overlapping a little bit of where I put my bronzer, aka contour. I know, I'm showing you that here I've overdone it, always. I don't know what's wrong with me. I always overdo my blush, but easy fix. But anyways, I'm applying that a little bit over my sort of contour, bronzy step, and then blending it out. Then for mascara on the lower lashes, I'm using my Lash Discovery as always. Then to highlight my face, I'm using this eyeshadow by Pacifica. I can't remember what it's called. It came in my Ipsy bag, and I'm really digging how it makes my skin super glowy. So I will list it below, and I think I've seen these products at Target from that brand. I'm not really sure if it's exactly Target, but I believe so. For my lips, I'm using the ColourPop Lippie Stick in the color Frieda, which is a kind of nudie, peachy pink color. And I decided to apply another product over it just because I wanted to change the color just a touch. So then I decided to bust out a Milani lipstick that I haven't used in forever. And it's the one in Nude Cream. And it's one that I've mentioned before in favorites in many months past. I really like it, and I like the opaqueness that you get from those lipsticks. They're really, really good quality. Alright, and so this is the close-up of the look. I absolutely love how this looks. Super, super beautiful, very feminine, just so perfect for any time of the year, but now that spring is around the corner, this will be the perfect time to bust out some brighter jewel tone colors. I really hope you guys like this look. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It means the world to me that you're even here today. So I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye, everyone.